Hey, good evening, everybody. You know who it is. Got some ajibuto peppers today. Um, these aren't hot peppers. I don't know if they're sweet or just kind of like a bell pepper, kind of mild, just not much to it. But there's not a lot of heat to these. And I love, all kinds of peppers. Like I said before, I like, bell peppers, jalapenos. Um, Pretty much any kind of pepper I can get my hands on. I just like the texture of them. I like the skin. Obviously, I like the heat. I like sweet bell peppers and all those kind of things. So Tom sent me these. Tom Broom with seriously hot peppers. And he said that these were, a pod that I should do a review on and let him know my thoughts on them as they're kind of starting to make a comeback. As a pepper. They haven't been around in a while. So he sent me some of these last year. I looked back because I knew I'd heard the name before and maybe tasted them. I don't really remember the taste, so we're going to do this again. And I might not have eaten a fresh pot of those. I might have just cut them up and put them in some food, maybe a salad, something like that. I think these would be really good in a salad from the description I've gotten from them. So without further ado, ajibuto peppers. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it sounds about right. Mm. Just don't want to eat that stem part. Not really a long stem on these guys, so probably should have cut them first, but so they're not overly sweet, pretty juicy. They definitely have that earthy kind of flavor to them, like a lot of peppers do. There's a good amount of seeds in there. I'm trying. Should have brought a knife with me and cut this open and show you, but a good amount of seeds in there. Good texture to it. Got a nice wall. The skin and the wall inside of that. Not overly thick. It's pretty thin, but it has a good crunch to it. Those peppers are popping pretty good with a good crunch. Uh, Overall, a good tasting pepper. This would be good in a salad. Like a fresh, lunchtime type salad. Maybe cook them up with a pasta. Be good in a pasta. It'd give a nice coloration. I tend to use habanero peppers. They're my favorite pepper, but I tend to use habaneros a lot because of the color and the pop of them. They make food look really good. They make a dish look really good. Besides, they taste really good and they're fucking hot. So these would be a good alternative because they have a nice bright orange coloration to them. Yeah, so there's really no heat to that at all. Um, Good little crunch on there. Good little placenta in there. There's a good amount of seeds and good vein structure. It's a good looking pot. Um, they're tasty. Um, they're kind of refreshing. Have a good little refreshing quality to them. Good amount of juice, water in there. They taste good. Um, so I'm a little distracted. I'll be honest with you. So that's why I decided to do this pepper tonight and not do a big burn. Because I'm just super distracted, man. I pretty much slept all day. got up, watched a little TV. You know what I mean? Got a call from a friend around 4ish. She was asking if I wanted to go to dinner. You know, we just opened up here in Reno, Nevada about a week ago, where you could go sit down and, you know, enjoy food again and kind of start getting back to a normal life after this COVID, you know, scare, which is still not really a scare. I guess it's still there, you know. So I said, you know, yeah, I'd love to, man. I used to go to dinner 2-3 times a week, out to dinner, you know, single guy. Don't like to cook all the time. It's perfect. So, you know, we're sitting there at dinner, and we had a great dinner. Everything's good. We're watching the news on the TV, you know, because there's no sports on. And we got to talking about, you know, these protests going on in Minnesota. And, you know, obviously LA starting yesterday. And Seattle now. A lot of different places around the country now starting to protest. You know, after Mr. Floyd lost his life, unfortunately. Sad. You know, I remember watching that video, and I mean, my heart sunk. I was like, this is nonsense. This is crazy. This is not something that we as Americans, let alone human beings, but we as Americans shouldn't tolerate, and it shouldn't be 2020. You know what I mean? And people are still having to live in fear and live that way. But again, you know, I'm lucky in the sense, I guess, that, you know, that hits other people of other races and color a different way than my reaction to you just now. I mean, and I was sad, and it was just something that I didn't support, and I was glad that those officers got arrested. They needed to be. Shouldn't have taken 2 days or whatever it took, but it should have been pretty much right away. So I get the protests and you know, where that happened. I get that. We're starting to get a little bit out of hand when my city now, Reno, Nevada, is being held hostage downtown by angry protesters. A protest that started today that seemed fairly peaceful has now turned into our city hall being lit on fire. Our main police station there on 2nd Street is now getting surrounded. It's been degraded. It's been graffitied. It's just it's nonsense. It's crazy. We now have a curfew in Reno, Nevada. Just before I came on and did this video, now, what is it, 7:30, so a half an hour ago, you know, mandatory curfew, you know, and as if 2020 wasn't hard enough, you know, we're just now coming out of this COVID thing where we can get back to going out to eat. Places are opening up, small businesses are opening up, and not just here in Reno, but around our country. We're destroying small business. People are out there destroying small businesses, let alone government buildings, let alone government, you know, police cars, you know, things that are government mandated and things that have to do with that. You know, taxpayers, somebody's going to pay to fix that stuff, you know, and that's going to be us. It's going to be the same people out there protesting. It's going to be the same people that are destroying it. You know, now they're saying that a lot of these protests that are going angry and destroying stuff are people from out of town that are just coming in to protest, and, you know, they don't actually live here in Reno. Well, thank you. You know what I mean? Because I hope I don't live in Reno, Nevada, and never see a state tax. But with all this COVID stuff, casinos being down, you know, we got the highest unemployment rate in the history of the United States, in any city, any state. It's not going to be long before there might be a state tax, especially now, the more stuff you guys are out there fucking destroying. It's sad, man. It's sad. Floyd shouldn't have lost his life. just like a lot of other people that have been wrongfully murdered, executed, killed at the hands of cops, but also not just that, at the hands of each other. I mean, we're killing each other, for the most part. These cops in Reno and Sparks, I've lived here 35 years. I wanted to be a cop at one time. I studied criminal justice, got my degree in criminal justice, thought about that, wanted to do that. Just didn't work out that way, and I landed into what I'm doing now, and it's been good, but get some more pepper going. This isn't supposed to be all political and shit. I never talk political. I'll never get that crazy, but when the biggest little city, Reno, Nevada, I've lived for 35 years, is under siege by protesters. Protesting something that this man is being charged with third-degree murder. I get it. First degree might not stick, so I put a third-degree manslaughter charge on the guy to make sure something happens. Makes sense to me. But protesting, I'm all for it. And there's a lot of you out there that probably see this video that might be friends of mine or whatever, and you might have been down there today. I have a good sense, though, that you weren't the people that I watched on video. Another crazy thing about it is I watched 2 different videos. And in these videos, these gentlemen were running up to City Hall, the front of City Hall, with bats and whatever else they had, looked like bats, steel pipes and whatnot, and just banging on the glass, just hitting it as hard as they could till they broke it, and this, that, and the other. And then I seen, a Mexico flag in both videos. It's the same video, basically, but it was recorded by 2 different people that I saw. I didn't see one single sign that said Hispanic lives matter, Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter. I just saw a bunch of hoodlums with masks on their face, waving flags, burning, United States flags, just running up destroying shit just because they thought it was fun. I have a hard time being an educated person understanding how this is helping anything. It's only dividing us more, And the crazy thing about it is you put COVID-19 in with this whole last 3 months of us all being segregated, social distance from each other, wear a mask, can't do this, can only do that, now you can only do this, now you can only do that. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that. And now we're out here destroying our cities. I have a hard time saying for a good cause. It is a good cause to fight and stand up for the fact that this man should not have died, and people like him or any other type of people shouldn't die at the hands of authorities or at the hands of anybody for something like that. For something they didn't even do. For something that could have been prevented, should have been prevented, But to come out here and destroy our neighborhoods, my downtown, I can't peacefully go out tonight and run into some shit that's just nonsense. I'm just rambling now, but it's sad. It's a sad day. There's only been a few sad days in my life that I can really remember. That was when my mom passed away when I was 24, so 14, damn near 15, 16 years ago. When 9/11 happened. And today, it's a sad day to be an American citizen. It's a sad day to live in this country. And I just hope and pray that all of you guys out there stay safe, that this all comes to an end soon, that the people behind the injustice that was served to Mr. Floyd is handled correctly and appropriately, and they get what's coming to them. And that after this is done, we can get back to a society that loves each other, respects each other, and hopefully after this, more so than ever. And something like what happened to Mr. Floyd never happens again. But you know, we live in the United States of America, and it's not always fair, and it's a sad day to be an American. And I know we're better than this. Every man, woman, child out there's got to just hold themselves accountable and understand that we're all brothers and sisters. Depending on what you believe in, we're all brothers and sisters out there. And we need to respect each other and love each other, because we just got to the point where we could maybe start hugging each other again. Maybe start fucking seeing each other again. And now we're out there destroying shit, and the cops and the government. This continues for too long, and we're going to have martial law right up our ass. And we're going to have National Guard right up our fucking ass. And we're not going to be able to do shit. And we're going to be fighting each other, and we're going to be fighting the government. It's hard to beat the government. So I hope we can all stay safe, and I hope that this doesn't come across as I am a person that doesn't care about another man's life, because I do. It's a sad fucking time, you know, in America, and it's a sad fucking day here in Reno, and I hope we get this wrapped up soon, and we can get back to a peaceful society in America, but especially here at home in Reno. You know, we need to get back to an open city and start loving each other. And that includes government entities, and that includes the police, and that includes black people and white people and Hispanic people and all you motherfuckers. We all need to start loving each other. Enough of my shit and rambling. I had to say something today. I wanted to try these peppers, man, but it's crazy out there. 2020, fuck you. All y'all, I love you.